Marion County woman was killed outside of her home in Citra. Officials are still investigating this deadly shooting and already have a handful of suspects. TV 20's Misty Webb tells us how one family member is grieving her loss.
It's the worst day of my life.
Marion County Sheriff's deputies received a call in reference to a shooting in Citra.
I was actually in the bathroom talking to my everything, and I just heard gunshots, so me and Red went in the closet and called 911.
When arriving, they found a woman who was fatally shot.
They came. We did not know our mother was dead until afterwards.
Young mother Sherese Stafford had aspirations and goals in life. She wanted to see her kids grow up, have grandkids, and achieve a lot of her own goals. However, the young mother would die in the most terrible and unexpected way in an unanticipated catastrophe. This is the story of a woman who loved her family and was killed by someone she believed would never hurt her. Let's explore this story to learn the truth about Sherese's fate and what ultimately caused it to end tragically. Before we begin this video, we would like to express our deepest sympathies to the family and friends who were severely affected by this horrible crime. We would also like to send condolences to Sherese's family and friends. Today's case takes us to Citra. Citra is an unincorporated community in Marion County, Florida, United States. The community is part of the Ocala Metropolitan Statistical Area. It has a population of around 7,000 residents. Citra is known as the home of the pineapple orange, one originally called the hickory orange, a name coined in 1883 for an orange fruit with an aroma reminiscent of the pineapple. Sherese Stafford was born on August 23, 1990. After dropping out of high school and becoming pregnant at a young age, she decided to change her life and return to school, finally earning her certified nursing assistant degree and becoming a nurse. She was said to be among the world's most loving, caring, kind, ambitious, helpful, and encouraging people. Whether she had it or not, she donated, always offering some kind and much-needed words of support and affection. Sherese firmly believed that God fulfills his promises and spread pure love as much as she could. The 33-year-old took pleasure in helping her friends and family. She never lost sight of her origins and the fact that God brought her. Stafford prayed as much as she could every day, gave her heart and mind to God, and reflected about how fortunate she was as frequently as she could. Before falling in love with 41-year-old Kenron Vereen, she was a mother of 3 children. The pair eventually got married and had just one child. They bought their family the new home, and they appeared to be content and eager to see what the future held. Despite the husband's lengthy criminal history and his job as a truck driver, Sherese apparently didn't mind because she thought he should be given another shot. Marion County Sheriff's Office deputies responded to the 16800 block of Northeast 41st Court in Citra on Tuesday, February 27, about 4 p.m., after receiving reports of shots being fired in the area. Upon arrival, they discovered a deceased woman, later identified as Sherese Stafford. The victim suffered apparent fatal gunshot wounds, according to the sheriff's office.
Marion County woman was killed outside of her home in Citra. Officials are still investigating this deadly shooting and already have a handful of suspects. TV 20's Misty Webb tells us how one family member is grieving her loss.
It's the worst day of my life.
Marion County Sheriff's deputies received a call in reference to a shooting in Citra.
I was actually in the bathroom talking to my everything, and I just heard gunshots, so me and Red went in the closet and called 911.
When arriving, they found a woman who was fatally shot.
They came. We did not know our mother was dead until afterwards.
As you can see behind me, police presence has been heavy for a while, and family and friends of the victim are here to grieve their loss.
That was everything I had, basically. Like, I have a lot of people that care about me and my aunties, but my mother, when nobody was there for me, my mother was.
Major crime detectives and medical examiners were also there investigating the scene as a homicide.
So detectives have a number of leads that they're currently following up on. Nothing at this point in the investigation we're able to disclose.
Sherese Stafford says her mother is the victim. She says the recovery process may be long for her, but she wants to continue making her mom happy no matter the circumstances.
Even though it's gonna be hard, I'm gonna have sleepless nights and stuff. She wanted grandkids. She wanted us to be happy. She wanted us to at least get a degree, and I'm gonna make all that come true for her.
Stafford also says she won't stop fighting for justice for her mom until the person responsible is found. In Citra, Misty Webb, TV 20 News.
And Marion County Sheriff's officials say the suspect turned himself into a sheriff's office in Georgia. Major crimes detectives are continuing their investigation, and officials have not released the suspect's name.
During the inquiry, investigators identified Stafford's husband, Kenron Vereen, 41, as a suspect in the shooting. According to MCSO, witnesses reported Vereen leaving the area in a white pickup truck. After a lengthy search, deputies said they found Vereen's truck but not him. On Tuesday night, around 9:45 p.m., the sheriff's office said they received a call from the Wayne County Sheriff's Office in Jessup, Georgia, alerting them that Vereen had turned himself in at their station. He was arrested on warrants unrelated to Stafford's murder and is currently being held at Wayne County Jail. According to Wayne County Jail records, he was taken into custody for aggravated battery, fleeing or attempting to avoid a police officer, battery, and intentional obstruction of law enforcement. His bond is set at $4,500. The MCSO said Vereen has yet to be charged in Stafford's death. Detectives are still investigating the homicide, so his charges will be determined by the results of their investigation, MCSO Public Information Officer Zach Moore explained. According to Marion County Jail records, Vereen has been arrested 11 times in the past 20 years. Some of the charges are aggravated assault, robbery with a firearm, aggravated battery with a weapon, attempted second-degree murder, assaulting a child, and domestic battery. He was most recently arrested on November 2, 2023, and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill, domestic, and making written threats to kill.
The woman shot and killed in Citra last night has been identified as 33-year-old Sherese Stafford.
TV20's Hawa Izell tells us who is accused of pulling the trigger.
41-year-old Kenron Vereen turned himself in on Tuesday in Georgia after allegedly shooting at 33-year-old Sherese Stafford. According to Marion County Sheriff's deputies, Stafford and Vereen were married. Stafford was shot outside her home near Northeast 41st Court in Citra, hours before Vereen was taken into custody. I asked how the family is doing.
So they're obviously devastated, and we're heartbroken with them. They've lost a mother, they've lost a sister, a daughter.
Investigators tell TV20 they received a call from Wayne County Sheriff's deputies in Georgia around 9:45 p.m., claiming that Vereen walked into the station and admitted to the murder.
And we're just very, very glad that we were able to catch Kenron when he was on the lam, that he turned himself in. We're fortunate for that so that we can get some justice for the victim and her family.
Residents of Marion County tell me that it's surprising something like this happened in Citra.
Yeah, I'm definitely surprised that it happened. I mean, there's literally nobody that lives out there. There's no stores, really. I think there's one gas station, so.
Investigators say that a team of detectives are on their way to interview Vereen in Georgia, where he is being held on unrelated warrants.
He'll have to deal with any charges from the warrants that he was arrested on up in Wayne County, Georgia. And then if he's going to be arrested and charged with Sherese's murder, then he'll be extradited back to Florida to face those charges in our court.
In Marion County, Hawa Izell, TV20 News.
We hope Sherese's loved ones remain well as they adjust to life without her, even though we do not know what caused her husband to kill her. Vereen is accused of tampering with evidence in a criminal process, possessing a weapon or ammunition by a convicted felon, and first-degree murder with a firearm. If you would like to stay updated with this type of content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the following video.